Hardball Central. And now coming up, we'll see the Houston Astros ready to play the Washington Nationals. Andy Pettin will get the start for the Astros.
Hey, everybody. Whoa. Oh, that might be a little too loud for myself. Okay, that should be a lot better. So, doing something a little different here. It's a Sports Goofs watch stream. Not sure. I'm giving it a test out during Game 3 of the World Series. So, still trying to figure the kinks out and all that stuff. So let me just make sure my my headphones are connected to my phone. Make sure nothing weird happens. So I've got a MLB 2K6 simulating the game, I guess. So that'll be interesting. Yeah. All right. So just decided to do laundry today, and I'm not sure if the other guys will pop in. I kind of a short notice type of thing, but I'm here. So if anybody wants to watch this game with me, you can. And if you want to, that's all up to you. That's all up to you. So I've got it there. I mean, if you're watching my stream just to watch the World Series, then in that little tiny little frickin' screen you got there, then you really aren't doing it correctly. There are better ways to watch this. Luckily, I have Fox Sports Go, so that's how I'm watching this game. So I do have a Fox Sports Go account, and so I just skipped there for some reason. Not sure why. Anyways, if you guys have not are new to this and you just want to watch the World Series on a very, very, very tiny format, this is Sports Goofs. So what Sports Goofs is, it's just me and my buddies. We started about last year. Yeah, sometime last year during our, during a little, actually, no, more like 2017. I think we started 2017. I've always wanted to do a sports podcast, so I live in South Florida, and any sports talk down here is mainly focused on football, and I'm not a big football. Well, I like football, all right. It's just the Miami Dolphins don't like me back. The Miami Dolphins make it very hard to like football, and I just so happen to be a Dolphins fan since I was 12 years old. So, yeah, I think they've only made the playoffs 3 times since I've been a fan. 3 or 4 times. I think it might have been 4 times. And nothing has come about of it. I don't think they've won a playoff game since 2000, I think. Not even entirely sure. But Dolphins have made it very hard to be a fan. And now they've made it to the point where we're just going to have to suck in order for... We're just going to have to suck. The Dolphins are just going to have to suck in order for us to maybe be good. Maybe be good. And that's even... And that's not even knowing if the guys that are running the Dolphins now, after so many years of Mike Tannenbaum and Jeff Ireland, if this guy, Chris Greer, even knows what the heck he's doing. We don't know, because he was actually with the Dolphins when all this stuff was happening. So it could just be a never-ending circle, because Stephen Ross never, ever tries to make a completely clean break with his staff. He always has holdovers. He can't just fire everybody. And I'm not saying fire the concession stands people or stuff. Not that extreme. But fire the people responsible for the mediocrity. It's just that simple. Now, this is the foolproof, quotation mark, plan for making the Dolphins better. We'll just tank as deep and as hard as possible deep and hard. But I'm still pretty skeptical that they're going to find a way to screw it up. I feel like that they're going to find a way to screw it up. It would just be the Dolphins' luck if they just so happen to draft somebody who ends up being a bust. There's that very real possibility that could happen. Oh gosh, so I'm doing laundry. I felt like that doing a stream while I iron some clothes and fold them and put them away, hang some shirts. I feel like doing the stream whilst that is happening would make it go faster. And it actually feels that way. I'm hoping my buddies can join me for this at some point. Evangelist Sharif Ali, how you doing, man? How's it going? How's Tricks? How are you enjoying the World Series so far? Are you a Nationals fan? You an Astros fan? Felipe, how you doing, man? Felipe, ¿cómo estás? How you doing, man? Oh. Oh boy. I predicted, as far as tonight's game is concerned, I predicted Game 1 and Game 2. I thought the Nationals would beat the Astros both games in a row. I thought for Game 1 that Garrett Cole was due for a loss, and I thought for Game 2 that the Nationals would smell blood and go for it in Game 2. Now, I've picked the Astros to win this game because I still feel the Nationals will win this series and possibly win this in 5. And I would think that if the Astros are going to win one game, that this would be the token game that they would win. So, nothing against Anibal Sanchez or anything like that. I just feel like this is the game the Astros are going to wake up and do what they need to do. But ultimately, I still think the Nationals will take the series. So there's that. And if you guys are watching on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook, VK, what have you, you can comment and it will show up on the screen in front of you if you're watching the game through this. I think you can faintly hear Joe Buck and doing the call for Fox Sports. But yeah, I mean, I've had much confidence in the Astros all season until now. The Astros are my American League team just by virtue of them holding spring training in my hometown. So they hold spring training in West Palm Beach. I'm from there. I grew up there. So it's been pretty cool to have them in my hometown and doing great things. But the Nationals also have spring training in my hometown. They share the same spring training facility as the Houston Astros. So it's not that I'm torn. It's just that I'm very proud either way that since that facility is open, it's produced 2 World Series championships, whether or not both of them are for the Astros or it's 1-1. So that makes me very proud. I think the Braves also won the World Series in '95 when I'm not sure when they opened their spring training complex in Orlando in Disney World, but they might have still been in West Palm Beach when they won in '95. Not sure. Gonna have to figure that one out. Yeah, here we are, World Series Game 3. I think a lot of people are trying to find ways to stream these games. So I have to share these to communities and stuff. Baseballclub.ru. There we go. I'm sure they'll appreciate this stream. Maybe some people from Russia are watching this. All right. So Sports Goofs has been going on. It's me. If you want to know my sports credentials, I am formerly a credentialed National Hockey League media writer. So I used to have press clearance at National Hockey League games in South Florida, meaning access to the Florida Panthers. So that's what I did for about 3 years. I did it for 3 years. And so that's my sports background. I've also why I wanted to do a podcast. I mean, I have been a member of the sports media, and I'm very proud of that fact. And then you have the Andrew, my buddy Andrew Jamp Frijoles, as he's known on Twitter and his various other accounts. He is actually currently a credentialed media member for the NCAA college football, in fact. So he actually is under Reddit College Football, RSCFB, and he has a press pass to cover the Florida International University Panthers. So we both have covered Panthers. I cover Florida Panthers for SB Nation, Letterbox Cats to be exact, their SB Nation board for the Florida Panthers. And Andrew is now currently the FIU, I guess, beat writer for RCFB. So that's, and I think he might be, I don't know if he's chosen to do Florida Atlantic Owls games, but he for sure is going to do FIU. And there's a lot of great names in this old video game here. And Charles has not become a media member just yet, but he is a massive wrestling fan. He could tell you everything about wrestling, from Japan to all the leagues here in the United States and stuff. He is a massive wrestling fan, WWE, and especially now AEW. He's fully on board with that. So it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be pretty cool. So my brother has MLB.TV actually. So my brother-in-law. So that's how we get our games here as well. Okay. So what? So that's our background. And our sports show has been mostly about. I mean, it's a nice escape for us. It's nice to talk about something that we love and we care about. We love sports, man. I think that's something we can all agree on. Sports are awesome. And sports sometimes, brings out the best in people. Sports can bring people together and can truly be a driving force in influencing people and influencing people's lives. And especially nowadays with social media and crap. Everybody knows what athletes are doing. Everybody knows what these organizations do and what they stand for and hold them accountable for certain things. And that's just the way things go nowadays. So sports have meant a lot to me since I was a kid, since I was 11 years old when I started really caring about sports. And I haven't looked back since. I've always been fully immersed in the world of sports. Lately, the last almost 2 years now, I've been out of the loop. I entered the workforce for real, really, for real, not just me working at a restaurant when I was in high school or something like that. No, I became an attorney. I'm a lawyer. And we ain't gonna talk about that. So I don't want to talk about that stuff outside of work. and I haven't been able to follow things as much as I used to, especially hockey. I'm a massive hockey fan. If you don't watch hockey, I never used to watch hockey. I used to just kind of ignore it, much like everybody else. But my brother-in-law, before he was my brother-in-law, introduced me, or truly introduced me to hockey, and I became a fan of the Florida Panthers. I saw my first hockey game, and I fell in love. I think that's true of many people. You see your first hockey game live, and you get it. It clicks. When you watch hockey live, it clicks. So if you want to get somebody into the sport, you just have to go and take them to a game. Because watching it on TV is a little difficult for people to get it, to understand what's the big deal. Okay? So my favorite sport, I would say is baseball. My family we're Nicaraguan, so baseball was a sport that we followed. I'm Venezuelan as well, so baseball should naturally gravitate to me. I should like baseball, and I do. I'm a Marlins fan, so that's one of the reasons maybe I shouldn't like baseball, but I do. I stuck around with the Marlins, and they won the World Series in 2003. And I'm still nostalgic about those days, but it hasn't dampened my spirits. I'm very much in Derek Jeter's camp. I believe that he is, in the long run, he is doing what is best for this franchise, and I don't think the Marlins could have asked for anybody better to come in and try and run this team, because the man is at the very least passionate about baseball and doesn't want to be a loser. I don't think Derek Jeter has ever wanted to be a loser in his life. And why wouldn't you want a former New York Yankee from the Dynasty Yankees, someone who embodied baseball, to run your franchise? I don't understand why you wouldn't want that. Why Marlins fans why a lot of casual Miami fans, it's easy to heap on Jeter. I hear on the sports talk radios here all the time. But those guys are morons. Those guys are just babbling fools. They can't find anything positive to say about the Marlins. They really can't. There's some guys down here. I would say Will Manso, who is pretty notable down here in South Florida sports media. He's been pretty positive. But I feel like there's a lot of negativity that shouldn't be there. So, Derek Jeter, I'm fully on board with what he's doing. I'm hoping that the formula that worked for the Houston Astros, look how amazing this team is now. I'm hoping that is somehow some of that success is replicated here in Miami with the Marlins. The Nationals did it a different way. The Nationals, if anything, they've been building up to this for quite a while, and it's kind of stalled every time it looked like they were trying to get something going there. And now they finally got it to a point where it is going. This is basically, it's about damn time for the Washington Nationals. Anyways, basketball, as far as I'm all South Florida. All right, talking about Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Miami Heat, very natural. They had Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade made me like the Miami Heat. Dwayne Wade was the closest superstar to me, and thus, naturally, Miami Heat fan. Not jumping on the bandwagon, nothing like that. Dwayne Wade is rookie year. That's what made me, when the Heat were when those championships were in a glimmer in Pat Riley's eyes. That's the Miami Heat I fell in love with. All right, and then Shaq came, and then things changed after that. But yeah. So I'm hoping this is going to be a good stream. Hope a lot of people watch. I hope a lot of people join me in watching this. So I got to share this on some other social media networks, so give me a second as I'm hanging my clothes. Ooh. Okay. Still 2-0. Now, we've seen a lot of 2-0, 2-2s so far in this World Series, and then bang, something happens later on. So, I'm still waiting for the something to happen. All right, it seems these teams kind of stall at 2, and then things start to happen. So we'll see. I'm trying to share these to one group that I have here for baseball. Oh, a baseball group that I can share to on this thing? No, we do not. That is odd. There is no baseball group on OK.ru. I'm just going to type in baseball and see what happens. Gosh, there's not many baseball fans on this site, unfortunately. I see cricket. I say cricket baseball, but I've never actually gotten to try to figure out what the heck cricket is about, because I don't know. I've never. I'm sure if I had somebody sit down and explain it to me, maybe, but yeah, we'll see. Anyways, let me just. I'm still folding clothes here and putting them away. Nationals Park. I can tell you this. So, I can tell you about both the Nationals spring training facility and their home ballpark, because I have visited both. As far as their home ballpark, the ballpark of the Palm Beaches, or as it's called now, Fit Team Ballpark of the Palm Beaches. I don't know what Fit Team is. I'm sure it's some sort of sports app or something. I have no idea. But it is brand new ballpark. Ooh. I'm not making this up. Like literally down the street from my home, from my childhood home. You just you go down, you make a right, and you head straight down. Well, you make a left, really, you get out of the street. You make a left, you head straight down. In about 10 minutes. 15 minutes, let's say. 15 minutes, you are at the ballpark. It is not far away at all from where I grew up. Opened in 2017 and became home of both the Houston Astros and the Washington Nationals. So there are 2 spring training facilities in Palm Beach County, where I'm from. There's one in Jupiter, Florida, which is north of West Palm Beach, about half an hour north on the highway, on the interstate. And then you have well, that's in Jupiter, so it's called Roger Dean Chevrolet Park, or Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium, and it's it's the spring training home of the Marlins and the St. Louis Cardinals. So, and that place has seen 3 world champions in its time, and it used to be spring training home of this team over here, the Washington Nationals, when they were the Montreal Expos. Mm-hmm. Continue on. So the new ballpark is better than the one in Jupiter. The West Palm Beach Park is just better. Ooh. Oh. Just foul. All right. So new ballpark, it's just bigger. There's a bigger space, wider. I think they might have better food options. They have a shade. They had covered seating. They have covered seating, which the other ballpark only has in a small amount. No, the West Palm Beach ballpark has covered seating. They've got nice hills in the outfield. You can just go there with kids and stuff like that. It's a nice ballpark, a better screen, a much better screen than the one in Jupiter. And you can walk all the way around, and the facilities are right there for both the Astros and the Nationals. Of course, you can't access them. They're guarded by security. I like it. So, nice ballpark there. Now, Nationals Park. Nationals Park, I visited with my dad earlier this summer on our big road trip where we hit up Tampa, Atlanta, and Washington in a ballpark tour, our first actual one. And I'm hoping I'll have enough money to do one next year. Hoping to do like a Northeast swing, Boston, New York, both New York parks, and Philly, and Baltimore. Baltimore was the other one that we couldn't stop by against in D.C. So yeah, Baltimore, Philly, New York, and Boston. So that's 5 ballparks. I think it's doable if we could find a spot in the schedule for us to do so. I'm trying to see. I have to. Well, the Major League schedules are out, so I'd have to look and coordinate as to whether all those teams will have home games within the span of like 1, maybe 2 weeks. Because we did the tour pretty nicely last time. Now, we did a road trip. We did a road trip from South Florida, Miami, all the way to Tampa, St. Petersburg, really. Then to Atlanta, and then Atlanta to Washington. And then we visited my aunt in Pennsylvania, but the Phillies weren't playing, so we couldn't see them. And I forgot to check the Baltimore Orioles, but whatever, we can always go back. And then this time, we're not going to do a road trip. It's too far for us to get to Philly. So most likely what we're going to do is we'll fly to our first destination. Now, I'm not sure what that will be. I'm not sure if it'll be better we go to Boston first and head south, or we go to, I would say, Baltimore first and head north. Because Baltimore, Philly, New York, and then Boston. It really depends. Now, you could take a train, and that's another thing I have to look at, so whether we could just take a train all the way from there to the other one, so we don't have to drive anywhere. Whoa, what's going on here? Zimmerman? Okay. A triple. 2-1. Look at that. Okay. 2-1. Here we go, the baby sharks. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Very. I told you it wasn't just going to be 2-0. Something would happen. All right. So, all right. So Anibal Sanchez has a chance of helping himself out by tying the game. He's trying to get the bunt down, so it's basically a squeeze play. Really, it's a squeeze play in some sense. I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't know if he can get it down. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to try and do. Maybe try and squeeze it by somebody if he can bunt it in a certain angle, but I'm not even sure if that's even going to work. Nope. Ooh. Forgot how Annabelle hit as a Marlins batter when he was the Marlins. I don't have much confidence. So I have some nostalgia for him. So and I'm kind of torn with my prediction, and yet it's okay. That's it. Damn. Okay. That didn't work. Well, luckily the guy's on third, so they just need a base hit, and they tie the game. So, I mean, that's the whole point of all this, is for them to he's on third, so bring him in. Come on. All right, your pitcher couldn't? Well, your pitcher couldn't. He's a pitcher. He's a pitcher. Yeah. Ooh. Yikes. All right, 2-1. All right. Still plenty of game left. We're now more than halfway through regulation. Kind of weird to say that in the baseball sense. I mean, it really is. There's no reason for saying regulation, but I mean, I don't know, like a hockey term in a sense, or whatever. Anyways, it's really quiet now. It's just me and my voice. What was I saying? Nationals Park. So, yeah, well, my dad and I eventually got to Nationals Park in D.C. Unfortunately, I kind of wish that I had seen Nationals Park second or first, because we went from Tropicana Field, which is not the worst ballpark. I think people may over-exaggerate as to it as a facility. I mean, it's not like it's I'm trying to think of a venue, like a dinky high school venue or something like that. It's a major league ballpark, has major league amenities, but it's pretty dreary in there with the roof and stuff. If that was an outdoor ballpark, maybe it'd be different. Anyways, Nationals Park. I saw SunTrust Park in Atlanta, which is almost brand spanking new, and that place is amazing. If you ever want to make a ballpark, that's how you do it. The Atlanta Braves thought really long and hard as to how they wanted their new ballpark to be, and they did it. Their SunTrust Park is a wonderful baseball stadium. Okay, so Nationals Park, in comparison, is nowadays, I would say average. Average. I've been to Fenway. I've been to Fenway, Tropicana Field, SunTrust Park, Nationals Park, and both Miami Parks. I'll say Pro Player. Now it's Hard Rock Stadium, and Marlins Park. I will say that Nationals Park is better than Marlins Park. I'll say that right now. Marlins Park, as it is right now, still has a ways to go, and that's mainly because Jeffrey Loria and David Sampson just sat on it. They made it tacky, and they didn't really try with regards to working with what they got on the inside. Derek Jeter and crew have tried to make better use of their space and make it better. So hopefully, there were big changes this season. I finally saw some things that I'm like, wow, this is coming along. So I would say by I would say maybe next season and probably the season after that, we'll start finally seeing Marlins Park at its true potential. So I hope Derek Jeter stays the course, doesn't listen to any negativity or whatever. I think he's doing a fine job with what the Marlins have had to work with. But wow, that's a pretty nice factoid right there. So there is some connection between Alex Bregman and I guess Washington baseball. Maybe not this Washington Nationals team. So continuing on, Nationals Park is an average ballpark. I thought they have nice amenities, but it's hard to go against the Braves because the Braves, albeit that I crap on the Braves because I don't really like them, but they do have history, and they learned how to show it off at their park. They learned how to really show off their pride in baseball, really. I mean, they are the most successful team in the city of Atlanta. And no, MLS does not count. It does not. As much as some people want it to, it just does not count. How long has this game been going on between this simulation of the Washington Nationals versus the Houston Astros? Look at this. They're scoreless in the 17th inning. Wow. All right, whatever. It's something in the background, right? Might as well have it. So yeah, Nationals Park. Getting in and out of it was kind of a hassle. And unlike Atlanta was, man, getting in and out of the freaking their ballpark was super smooth. I still can't believe how easy it was, and it was a nice crowd during that game. I forgot if it was a Saturday or Sunday that we went, but I think it was a Saturday because I think we spent all day Sunday driving to D.C. and Monday we saw. I think Monday we saw the Nationals play. So, well, they'll have some history to talk about if they win this World Series here. And uh-oh. 3-1. Oh boy, oh boy. Ooh. It looks like there's something's happening in the simulated game here. Nationals might have a shot here with 2 outs. And that guy just got plunked, so now they've got bases loaded with 2 outs. And we'll see what happens, man. This might be here in the 17th inning. It might actually have a conclusion to this game. Okay. And nope, we are going to the 18th inning. Or I think they might start running out of pitchers. This is going to be pretty fun. Okay. Well, Bregman is on. Possible American League MVP. Okay. But yeah, Nationals Park. I mean, it was alright. I mean, it's not a bad ballpark. It just didn't impress me like Atlanta did. Wow. Just wow. Just wow. Like for real, wow. Kudos to the Atlanta Braves. They can't seem to win a playoff round, but they know how to make a ballpark. And somebody, a Marlins fan tweeted that the Marlins still have won a playoff round. Still have what was it? That the Braves haven't won a playoff round since what? 2001, I think, and the Marlins won the World Series in 2003. So Marlins still have won a playoff round earlier than the Atlanta Braves. I don't know. I don't even know how to say it now. Probably should have looked it up. Probably can look it up. Ooh. Yeah, dude. Turner, I've never been to Turner Field. Unfortunately, I never got to it. It's now Georgia State Stadium. I don't even think they call it Turner Field anymore. And by the way, that's Dan Friel. If y'all don't know, I don't know why he hasn't popped in on the stream with me. You can just call in, dude, if you want to talk. You can always do that, man. I'm here. You know. Sorry I didn't catch your messages earlier. I've just been putting away my clothes, so I'm not completely watching the screen. So you've been to Turner Field, I guess, when it was Turner Field, and not Georgia State Stadium, or I guess if we want to go really deep, Olympic Stadium. Or actually, it was called Centennial Olympic Stadium back then. This one swung on and fouled away. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Now a swing and a ball. Yeah. I mean, the next 5 ballparks I want to head up is that Northeast swing. Baltimore, Philly, New York, and Boston. Well, I've been to Boston already, but my dad hasn't, so I'd like to take him there. So that would probably be it. And then I guess the next trip I'd be planning is kind of like a... It would have to be kind of like a... It would have to be Pittsburgh, Cleveland. If they're like Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Detroit, and if we get our passports and everything in order, Toronto. That'd be unique. That would be a unique road trip. So I'm not playing the game, dude. So it's the computers. I'm not playing the game. So yeah, so I guess that would be the next trip, and then from there, another trip would be, I think it would be easy to do. If I'm doing it like 5 by 5, it would probably be, yeah. Okay. I predicted. I thought the Astros would get their token win tonight if they're going to be their token win.
Good cutter there, but it's 1-2 now.
Yeah. So I think the next logical ballpark trip from there, and I think hitting up 4 to 5 ballparks is doable within like a span of a week or maybe 2 weeks. So that's how I'd like to plan like a yearly baseball trip with my dad. So I guess the next logical trip would be because it'd be us going further west each trip. So the next logical one would probably be possibly Kansas City, St. Louis, and then both Chicago teams and Milwaukee. I think that would make the most sense. I think that's doable as far as a trip. So that'd be the next trip. Minnesota's just out of the way, though. Minnesota's just, I feel like that's the furthest one to get out to. Because it's not really near anybody else. So that one might just be like a single flight to Minnesota type of thing, you know? And then I would say the next trip, and then the 2 Texas teams as well would be kind of like a one-time trip type of thing where we just go to Texas and hit up Houston and then Dallas. Because then there's nobody else near them after that. Because then it gets more spread out from there. Because then you have Colorado in the middle of nowhere. You have Colorado in the middle of nowhere. And then you have Seattle all the way up there in the northwest. The California teams is doable. Because my sister already did the California trip with her husband. With my brother-in-law. Where they hit up Oakland, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Anaheim, and San Diego. And I guess if there were time to do a 6th one, Arizona may not be so far away, but I think it still would be a long trip to drive out to Arizona to Phoenix from there. So Phoenix may also be like a single flight type of thing. Same thing with Seattle and Colorado and Minnesota. So those ballparks would probably be the hardest ones to hit up to. The rest are pretty nearby. The rest have kind of logical points to drive to, but all 130 FBS stadiums. Oof. That's holy crap. That is, gosh. And if anybody else is joining us here, and some are. There's some stragglers out there watching us. If y'all don't know, Andrew is a writer for Reddit College Football, RCFP, and he covers FIU Panthers football games here. So he is our resident current media member. I'm a former media member, and we'll see. Okay. Nationals have a guy on. So, oh yeah, and also Andrew couldn't make our last show, and thank you to everybody who watched our last show. We actually got a ton of views, which is great. I always like that. Some likes that I saw on our various media platforms, so that's also good. So I think we got a new follower on YouTube, so it's not like, it's getting there. We're getting there, so that's cool. So Andrew, unfortunately, could not make it to our last show. So hopefully he'll be with us for the next one. I'm hoping we can do it on Wednesday. And so, what was it? We had a word from our non-sponsors in our last show. And for those of you who don't know, we have yet to get a sponsorship yet. And we're hoping that by giving shout-outs to people who haven't sponsored us, it would lead to us being sponsored. And we just have a lot of fun doing it. So, Andrew, you haven't done the award for your non-sponsor this week. I don't know if you want to reveal it on screen here for us, or if you want to save it for the next for the next show. He's the 20th. I'll save it. He's gonna save it. All right, we'll just keep it. I don't know if you saw ours. Charles, of course, did a food-based one, which was a old St. Augustine hot sauce. An old St. Augustine hot sauce. And mine was the movie Office Space, because of how I'm quitting my job. I'm resigning. I'm not really quitting. I'm just resigning, if you want to say it like that. And, whoa. Okay, so, Andrew, there's a guy on second with 2 outs, so if they could, is he going to third? Ah, crap. I think we're getting more excitement for this game to just be over on the screen here. And, there's a ground rule double. Okay, Andrew, someone has finally frickin' scored. The Astros are winning 1-0 on the simulation here. Some drama happening in the 22nd inning, or the 22nd inning, as it says on the screen here. Oh, that's pretty funny. The 22nd inning. Oh boy. Watch the National score run to tie it. That's going to be pretty funny. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Now I'm genuinely... Okay, now I'm genuinely hoping that they tie this game. I don't know why. Okay, so it's a ground ball. Okay, 1 out. 2 outs away, Andrew. 2 outs away from this game finally being over. And I'm probably just going to put him again. Just because I need something in the background to keep people occupied. And yes, if you look on the bottom right of our screen there, you'll see all of the networks that we are on. We constantly join new networks to reach new audiences and stuff. And it's brought in an interesting demographic of crowds, that's for sure. An international audience, if you would say, as well. So 2 outs, and there's a ground ball, and that's it. It's over. Andrew, it's over. 1-0 Astros. They win in the 22nd inning. I want to see the stats on this. 80 at-bats for the Astros, 75 for the Nationals, 16 hits to 15 hits, so they were pretty even for an average of 200, 10 singles, 15 respectively. 6 doubles for the Astros, none for the Nationals, nothing, no home runs, 2 walks, 21 strikeouts for the Astros, 16 for the Nationals. They had 3 stolen bases for the Nats, 1 for the Astros. Stolen base success rate is 100%. 197 pitches, the other one 205. That's pretty interesting there. Gosh, percent of strikes. So they were actually pretty evenly matched. The most boring game ever. Ooh, boy, I'm going to quit that. All right, so, you know what? We don't have to put the Astros and Nationals. Andrew, what game do you want to put up? What 2 teams? You pick. Since you had to endure 22 innings there. So remember, this is 2000 and, let's see, NBA and 2K6. So this is probably the 2005 rosters for these teams. Or 2006 rosters, I'm not even sure. Kind of like the off season of 2006, really. So just post them on the board whenever you're ready. Colorado versus LA. All right, so let's get the Rockies. Okay, well, what game is going on? Oh, okay. Trojans versus okay, hold on. Where's Dodgers there? Yes. Okay, and I guess we'll put it at nighttime over there. And I'm assuming it's cold in Colorado, so I'm just gonna put cold. Snow. Snow. Is there snow? I don't think there's snow on here. I think all we can get is cold. Well, we'll make it windy. Maybe the wind will add to the excitement.
No, it is not going to count in the standings, but you know these players are looking to make an impression that will keep them on the road.
So this is actually the first of these kind of watch streams that we're trying out. Not even sure how it's going to work. This is just unique. I don't think Andrew can talk right now. Because if he could, he probably would be right now if he wanted to call in. But, kind of an idea I've wanted to do for a while. Just pick like a game of the week where we kind of just watch it together, you know? Yeah, where we kind of just watch it together, you know, just riff on the game or whatever. I kind of wish we had done the, third. So there's a guy in second and third for the Nats, so they got something going. Okay.
Reddick makes a great play here. This ball was hit so hard. Watch it bounce off the wall. And of course, with 2 outs, good speed. This ball hits the wall and a good bounce right.
Yeah. Yeah, if that bounced away from him, maybe Eaton scores on that play.
There's no way, even with 2 outs, could they score that.
I kind of wish we had been able to stream that game 4 between the Nationals and the Cardinals, because we had some pretty fun reactions to that collapse of the Cardinals in that game. So that's kind of what prompted me to try and do this. So pick a game of the week, whether it be a football game or basketball or hockey. And, well, baseball season is about to end. And I guess we did a baseball one for today. Pass this time while I do some chores as well. So that's not a bad thing either. Cleaning up my room, putting away some clothes. Whew. Whew. Gosh.
As you can see, he does just that. That's smart baseball right there. John, this is a pretty good pitch to hit, and he gets good wood on it. Now he's in scoring position.
Anyways,
Well, that's where you want to throw the sinker.
I work tomorrow, which sucks, but whatever. But there's college football on tomorrow. So, you know, this is kind of a stream. Even if I don't have to, you know, even Andrew can do these streams if he wants to. And I can, if I can't talk, I can just chime in, just like he does with, like, through the, like, boards, text, or whatever on the chat. So there's always something. There's always ways we can kind of create more content, as the YouTubers like to say. Plus, I think trying to make up for the last 3 weeks when we weren't on. But I like the amount of people that watched, anyways. So that wasn't so bad. Hoping to build an audience that can chime in a lot. Cause that's the cool thing about this. I want people to feel like it's just a bunch of, it's, you know, just watching games and talk about sports with your buddies. You know, you know, not much shame, no, you know, feeling comfortable. Speaking of college football, there you go.
Handles the fastball down, opposite field power as well. And James can deliver it north of 98 miles an hour with a slider, as I would think he would be looking to try to throw a slider first pitch.
Okay, so Zim is up. It would be very cool if he could tie this game for Ryan Zimmerman. There's a guy named Ramiro on. Buenas. No, it is not.
James steps off. Greinke went 4 2/3. 1 run, responsible for the runners at second and third. 7 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, 95 pitches.
Well, Andrew, this simulated game between the Rockies and Dodgers at least has a score already, so that's not bad.
Nothing he can do with either of these pitches. So as a hitter, you just got to stay patient and hope that he doesn't throw a third anywhere close to those 2 spots.
Anytime you get the changeup inside, you're lucky if the guy lets it go and doesn't hit it out the ballpark. Now the 1-0 pitch. When a guy's spotting pitches like that.
The 0-2 spins him out of there.
Ooh. Yikes.
Zimmerman went down hard.
Ooh. That was
They're going to come check on him.
yikes.
And he's going to send them back. But not going to get his wish. They got to look at him after that.
Let's see.
Well, you're going to see what 98 unfortunately gets up.
Man,
you never want to see it near
got a bit of a shave there, that's for sure.
tough read for a pitcher who's trying to protect with 2 strikes. And the ball comes whistling up and in. He's
Ooh.
thanking his stars right there, lucky stars. He digs back in.
It'd be pretty cool if he got a big hit after this. I don't know if anybody remembers in that 2003 World Series when it was Miguel Cabrera versus Roger Clemens, and he went really high and in on him. And Cabrera just kind of stared back Roger Clemens at that time, and then hit. And then I guess a couple pitches later, he hits a home run opposite field to right field. That was an epic moment right there.
1-0
in what would be a Hall of Fame career for Miggy. Oh, gosh. Especially knowing now between all the stuff that happened with Roger Clemens afterwards. He's not in the Hall of Fame. He was a surefire Hall of Famer. And then things started to get out about him. And now he's in that same camp as Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire. It's kind of sad, isn't it? Like, for guys like me and Andrew and Charles, that players like them are shunned away from the Hall of Fame because of performance-enhancing drugs. It's really the only generation that's going to have that, where you won't be able to see your favorite player get into the Hall of Fame. That was always the for a lot of people. I mean, there's some good ones obviously going in now. Ken Griffey Jr., Mariano Rivera, Derek Jeter will be this coming season because he's getting in on the first ballot. So, but like for me, like my favorite player growing up was Sammy Sosa. I would have loved to see him go into the Hall of Fame. And honestly, now that I'm looking back on it, I mean, if you're going to make an asterisk or whatever, or a special section of the Hall of Fame for these guys, I don't know, but kind of wish that there was something for those guys, because they did bring baseball back for a lot of people. They did, especially Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa. They made new fans out of a lot of people like me. Sammy Sosa helped make me a baseball fan. That's got to count for something. That's got to count for something. It's hard. There's, there's morality to it. Is it right for us to have these guys in the Hall of Fame? I'm hoping maybe the gatekeeping that the baseball writers of America have been doing with a lot of these Hall of Fame candidates and Hall of Fame and Hall of Famers that are already in and stuff. Like Mariano Rivera, the first unanimous one. For many years there was always some guy that, just for the sake that there wasn't a unanimous one before, even when you've had guys that probably should have been unanimous, like Jackie Robinson and Babe Ruth and Roberto Clemente and just so many others. They finally let Mariano be it because it was a stupid thing to have in the first place. All right, there are unanimous Hall of Famers. There are guys you look at and just be like, yeah, that guy should be in there. When Ichiro Suzuki's time comes in 5 years, 2024, I would say, right? It should be, yeah, that guy should be in here. There shouldn't be if Derek Jeter is like, yeah, that guy should be in here. All right? Whether you don't like him because he was a Yankee and, they were so successful, whatever, you still got to respect the career he had. You still got to look at the numbers. He has 3,000 hits. Pretty much almost every player with 3,000 hits is in the Hall of Fame. I say almost because I think Rafael Palmeiro has 3,000, and he's not in the Hall of Fame for, once again, performance-enhancing drugs. So, another guy who probably a lot of people in my generation who grew up Rafael Palmeiro fans and They won't see him in the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose, well, Pete Rose is a different circumstance, but I think he's done his time. All right, a lifetime ban, really? He's done his time. All right, Shoeless Joe Jackson, lifetime. I mean, well, he's already dead. So really, should he still be banned? He served his lifetime ban. He's dead now. Maybe he should get in. You know? Pete Rose should get in. Even if it's posthumously, he should get in. If it's a lifetime ban, then when his life is over, the ban is lifted, right? You didn't say a forever ban, an eons ban, a death of the universe ban.
What would you like the power to do? And by T-Mobile, the newest signal is more powerful, more
That's a nice tidbit right there.
farther than ever.
And once again, Andrew is also our like a trivia guy. Whoa! Hey there, Adam Eaton.
Reddick hits it hard into right, and Adam Eaton chased it down and made a dive and gets the out. That's how the sixth begins.
Nice.
This ball's hooking away from Eaton, and he gets there just in plenty of time.
Wow.
Gets it right at the end of his.
What a great read. Yeah, he did.
Appreciates the effort now, Chirinos. You got Chirinos up in the pitcher spot. That would be James. And the right-hander Peacock getting ready for Houston in their pen. That hammered down the line, and
Oh.
it's gone.
Oh.
It is.
Uh-oh.
Chirinos has gone deep.
Wow.
Added to the lead.
Oh, boy.
Biggest lead of the night. It's now 4-1 as he bangs the foul pole in left.
Uh-oh.
Unbelievable sometimes when you just see a pitch from a pitcher. You think it's
Yeah, looks like my prediction's about to come true. Astros are probably not going to let this one go.
hadn't done much this postseason, but already 2 more hits against what is now becoming Sanchez's nemesis. And off the netting to the right of the left field foul pole to give the Astros their biggest lead of Game 3. Kyle Tucker will dig in. Looking to launch, and he chops one foul right side, strike 1. Tucker so far 1 for 2 in this World Series.
Oh, boy.
Singled in that 5-4 loss in Game 1 back in Houston for the Astros, and then was retired in Game 2. Chirinos with his second home run of this postseason. His second hit of the night, and only his 4th hit of the postseason. 4 pitches, 4 swings. Astros getting aggressive. Last inning for Sanchez. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Nope. That's down.
I think the Astros, or the Nationals, sorry. I think the Nationals at this point is going to keep Annabelle out there for as long as they can so that they can, I mean, there's no point in wasting your bullpen arms in this game. See if your bats can kind of get you back into the game, but if they can't, there's no point in wasting all your bullpen arms just to try and win Game 3. If you're going to take this as a loss, you got to take it as a loss. You're still up 2-1. So they still need to plan out for the rest of the series, because they're going to need their arms. All right, they can't just blow it all right now. So keep Sanchez in as long as possible. Basically, have him as the sacrificial lamb for this game, and see. I mean, it's 4-1. It's still not completely out of control. It's still within reach. Anything past 4 runs, and all of a sudden now it's out of reach. You know, if you're not if you're more than a grand slam away, then yeah. So have them keep going, and then and not to use too many of your bullpen arms for this game.
Now a 2-2. Full count.
Full count.
Tucker hunts fastballs. You saw his big, long swing. He tries to keep the barrel of the bat in the zone as much as possible, but he's definitely hunting fastballs. Cannot give in 3-2 and throw him a fastball here, I don't believe. 4 big league home runs this year at the end of the year after a monster year with power at AAA, and he throws a walk. And we'll see if that's it for Sanchez. Here's the homer. Well, the only question at that point was whether he was going to go or not. It had the distance. And now after the first walk of the night, that's going to be it for Anibal Sanchez.
Well, that's it.
Season, really all year long.
Yeah, what more can you ask for from the guy?
For this team, but he is KO'd here in the 6th inning.
Yep.
4-1, Astros on top.
Not too bad, Anibal. All right. I loved you as a Marlin. You had a no-hitter with us. That'll do, guy. That'll do. Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. One possession game in football. Okay. Keep going with my cleaning here. Yep. Put some stuff away. So Andrew, what do you see I play tomorrow or what? I've completely stopped paying attention to the Seminoles. Two 2 p.m. against Temple in Philly. I wonder if Manny Diaz regrets not keeping that Temple job. You know, he would have had less pressure, would have had time to develop as a head coach, instead of, you know, I mean, people are already questioning him down here in South Florida for a dead football program. I don't know if you saw, I posted a poll on our Sports Goofs Twitter page at @sports_goofs for anybody that's watching. And it asked if which of these college football programs is the most dead, and it was the choices were between Miami, Tennessee, and Nebraska. So I don't know if you have an opinion about that, Andrew, or have you voted on the poll?
Contributions on and off the field, supporting members of his communities in Cleveland, Tampa, and his homeland of Venezuela, and to those around the world. Visit MLBcommunity.org to learn more.
Roberto Clemente Award. I have not. Well, go ahead and vote if you can, dude.
The Cleveland Indians, diagnosed with leukemia this year after starting the year in the rotation, and fought his way through that. Came back in September to pitch 11 games in relief. What a great story. Carlos was here and was joined on the field by Luis Clemente, Carlos' wife Carrie, and Manfred, the MLB commissioner. Here's a steal. Ball gets away, and now bouncing up and going to third is Tucker.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
And with one out, that's big. It'll be a stolen base, then
Stolen base.
error on Suzuki.
Oh, gosh.
And a runner's at third with only one out here in the sixth inning, and the Astros
Okay.
already up 3. And that's what the Astros are going to have to do
I mean,
in this series. They've got to put pressure every chance they can.
I think out of all of them, I think by virtue of Tennessee being in the SEC, it's probably the most embarrassing for them to have sucked for so long. You know, like it seems like every year the SEC has 5 or so very good teams, and Tennessee used to be one of them. And it's just, I don't know. The 21st century has not treated them kindly, if you will.
The oldest player in Major League Baseball. Worked a scoreless frame in Game 2. Here's 1-1. Swung on and missed at 92 by Springer, 1-2. See, there's that too big a swing right there. As you see what Rodney's been able to be part of. And in both leagues, he's been just omnipresent.
Oh yeah, Andrew. I don't know if you watched the last show or not, but I think we're starting maybe not a new segment, but I guess because we did like a nice thing where I taught Charles something about hockey, and he taught me something about wrestling. Some stuff that we had been wondering about, weren't clear about, and having somebody that's a fan of it, you actually get to know something about the sport. So it was actually pretty cool. I think it'd be really fun to do it with college football, since you are our resident college football guru. I think Charles called it like teach a goof or learn a goof or something like that. Like it could be, it doesn't have to be our wheelhouses but just something that we could throw out there that we just know. We just freaking know. As I've been trying to get really back into hockey lately. Trying to learn all the guys on each team and stuff like that again. And I'll have the time to do it soon enough.
Could easily be 3 for 3 with 3 extra base hits. He's 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles and 2 runs scored. Chirinos with a home run in the 6th.
If you're wondering about the audio quality, I'm not using our normal microphone, so it's not as good. I'm using a headset, Bluetooth headset. May not be the best of quality, but I'm hands-free right now, so I can do my chores and stuff around here. There's a little less space in my room. I have an extra TV because I took it from work. It's my TV. It's not like I stole it from work. It's my TV. It's the one I've had since college, since I was at Florida State. So it's just my stuff. But I'm just waiting for when I start my next job to bring it with me. Oh, and the game is over. Dodgers and Rockies. Dodgers win 3-1. Cool. So let's see. Now, I'm going to put Nationals and Astros all over again, but we'll put them in a different ballpark just to make things interesting here. Let's see if we can get some of these old school ballparks. Griffith Stadium. Hold on. Look at that, the old ballpark in D.C. Home of the Washington Senators. That'll be fun. and we'll make it breezy, just to make it interesting.
And here's a guy Houston wants. About to dig in.
Ah, gosh darn it. Sorry, too late. Yeah, because that would have been the appropriate team, because they used to be the Senators. Ah, oh well.
Rodney in a tight spot.
Fix this. Fix this atrocity. Even though technically the Washington Senators were officially known as the Washington Nationals for a time.
Drove in 74 runs during the regular season.
Let's see.
This time with a bad hamstring and was still not right with his surgically repaired right knee early. Here's a foul with Springer taking off for second. It's 0-2. Something Ken Rosenthal talked about earlier in the postseason.
There they are.
Procedure on his right knee. That knee he uses to drive off when he's hitting. It wasn't totally stable at the beginning of the year. Then he missed time with a bad hamstring. And that allowed him to work on the strength of that right knee. He came back.
Actually, let's make it rainy.
One of the best hitters.
And windy and nighttime. Just to make it interesting.
I don't know how that missed Altuve. It's like it went right through him. Ball one inside. And it's a steal for George Springer, his second of the night. There's the changeup. He just goes off his hands.
Wow. How did that not hit Altuve?
He don't want to say nothing. He wants to hit. Yep. He wants to hit.
Did that graze his shirt?
Martinez challenged him. To intentionally put him on, in essence. He wants to hit. 1-2 pitch, and he chops to third. Rendon comes home.
Okay. They got him in a pickle.
And now tagged out, but does a good enough job to get the runners back to second and third in the end, 2 out. Once he was caught, his job was to make that last.
I can't believe Fernando Rodney made it to the World Series.
A little surprised with second and third right there. The ball is
Oh, no, that's a name right there. Johan Santana.
now it ended up
Man, he was so good.
now they'll walk Brantley and
Sheesh. Look at these guys that are retired now. And Joe Mauer behind the plate.
well, he holds those 4 fingers out all the time. Like, hey, you should have walked me. Well, they walk Brantley to get to the cleanup man, Alex Bregman. And
So he's played in the wild card game, the division series, the championship series, and of course now the World Series.
as motivation, even more so in this at bat, as an insult to get him to the plate. He has struggled. It has not been
Oh.
a season. And he pops
Okay.
it foul right side, strike one. Ken Rosenthal.
Wait, when was Fernando Rodney on an American League or American League World Series team?
He won't want to hear that. They were trying to get his mind to lock in, obviously, when
He was on the 2006 Tigers? Wow.
he hadn't locked in. And that's
Interesting.
part of the reason why he struggled.
That was a long time ago.
MVP-type regular season takes low.
He must have been like, oh, like God, look at Andy Pettit. Dear Lord. This game does not do him justice.
But he did pop 41 home runs. He has 2 this postseason, including 1 in Game 2. 1 for 13 with runners
Yep,
in scoring position.
the worst World Series.
What a chance here. The 1-1. Chopped to Turner, and they
And
the out. Bregman grounds into the
okay,
and the strategy works.
okay.
Rodney, a good job to avoid further damage. Some delivered by Chirinos. A home run in the inning, and it's 4-1 Houston.
Okay.
Bottom of the sixth.
There's still plenty of game left.
That's what you call good morning, good afternoon, and good night. See you later.
Base is empty with one out. First pitch on the way. Fastball just misses. One ball, no strikes. The 1-0 pitch.
I went to the Panthers and Penguins game and I bought a new hat.
Get the ball down before they start swinging.
So you'll most likely see it at some point. It has and I have it's looking like, Andrew, that signs are pointing to the Panthers having an alternate jersey this year, a third jersey, because they reintroduced the hockey stick and palm tree logo on their helmets, and what used to be there was their modern Leaping Panther logo. So when I went to the Panthers team store, Pantherland, at the BB&T Center, they had a ton of merchandise with that Leaping Panther, like front and center. So signs are pointing to that. I think they're anticipating, I guess, getting people used to that new Leaping Panther look, because they never really used it very much these first few seasons under their new look, and now it seems like they're really gonna push it hard once it goes, because remember, I don't think all the teams have revealed their third jerseys yet. I think only a few so far this season. I think the Oilers just recently wore their their asphalt looking uniforms, the one that are like all navy and orange, like with the orange trim. I'm still not really a big fan of it, to be honest. But oh well. So we'll see. We'll see. But the hat has that Leaping Panther. It looks pretty good, especially in comparison to. And once again, one of my reasons for the Panthers switching their logo is because, or modernizing it, is because it's very hard to reproduce. So I've noticed that this Leaping Panther logo looks better than the ones with the old version of it, just because it doesn't require as much detail on it, so it looks much cleaner. Which is a thing that's going on now in all sports branding. It's why the World Series logos have become a little more simplistic lately. The Major League Baseball playoff logos. It's why the NBA has gone really simplistic with their stuff, really templated. Same thing with the NFL and their Super Bowl logos. It's kind of boring, but at the same time, it's mostly just for branding and merchandising and all that type of stuff, just so you can plaster the logos all over the place, and they look consistent all over the place, no matter if you're using thread or paint or ink or whatever materials. You can recreate that logo everywhere with every material. So just the way things are going around the world, and I guess to make things easier on branding. Branding really matters nowadays with social media and digital media. So.
And it has started a craze here with the Nationals fans. That's outside. Ball 2-0. Brad Peacock.
Having simplistic logos is just the way things are going. That's why Sports Goofs has a simplistic SG logo. For that very reason, as it's very, like, if we wanted to make a hat of it, we could very much make a hat of it pretty easily. I've never thought of that. Never thought of making a hat out of our logo. I could do it. I've done it before.
Maybe this is the start of it.
Okay. Nationals are up. See what they can do. Speaking of, let's see what else is going on in the other sports right now. So, the Avalanche beat the Golden Knights. That doesn't matter for us in the Eastern Conference. The Leafs beat the Sharks, so that matters for us, especially for me and Andrew, because our teams are in the Atlantic Division. So, boo, Sharks for not winning that game. The Coyotes beat the Devils, so that worked for us. The Islanders beat the Senators. The Senators suck, so that's kind of to be expected. The Sabres continue winning. They beat the Detroit Red Wings. And I don't know who thought the Red Wings would be a good team this year, but they're not. They're not. And the Sabres keep on winning. So maybe this isn't a fluke. Maybe they actually will be a legitimately good team this year. Then the Capitals are out in Vancouver, as far away from DC as possible. And they're currently down 2-1. And yeah, I saw that. Joe Buck already mentioned because of Trey Turner's steal in Game 1, we'll get free Doritos Locos Tacos on October 30th. So I'm going to have to put a reminder on my phone for that. I'll be busy on October 30th. I have a big case that Charles is helping me with. So not sure if tacos will be on my mind that day. Basketball action. We've got the Suns and Nuggets 66-65. That's a pretty good game in the fourth quarter. The Kings 47-43 between them and the Blazers 3:39 out in Sacramento in the second quarter. Not too bad of a game. 10-10 between the Lakers and the Jazz in the first quarter out in LA. The I almost said the Bruins. The Celtics beating the Raptors 112-106. Minnesota handily destroying the Charlotte Hornets 121-99. That was a pretty close game. New York Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets 109-113. And that's trying to show dominance in New York. Let's see. Chicago Bulls winning 110-102 to the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies expected to be one of the worst teams this year. The Pelicans losing 116-123 to the Dallas Mavericks. Already two close losses for the Pelicans already. Washington Wizards defeating the Oklahoma City Thunder today as well. Doesn't help the Heat or the Magic as they are in the same division. And the Magic had a pretty good first win against the Cavaliers. Cavaliers probably expected to suck again. But the Magic may actually have a legitimately good team and might make the playoffs again this year. They haven't really lost anybody. If anything, they've added. So we'll see. I think you might want to change that year there, Andrew. I don't know. We had. I'm assuming you meant 1950, not 1050.
Sanchez wasn't able to put up a zero in the fifth. We're now at 4-1. With one out, nobody on. A 1-2 pitch is fouled away.
Mm-hmm.
Peacock comes at you with different arm angles. A.J. Hinch described him as semi-sidearm. He's on the list as a possible starter in what figures to be a bullpen-type game tomorrow for A.J. Hinch and the Astros. He said he's leaning toward Urquidy getting the start against Patrick Corbin. 1-2 pitch. Skips in there 2-2. Well, he has that lower three-quarter action, and the ball kind of gets on the hitter quickly, and he's got good sweeping action into that breaking ball you just saw. Sneaky quick with the way that he delivers the baseball. Astros trying to get back into this World Series, down 2-0. That is down, and it's a full count. Great movement to this two-seam fastball over the part of the plate, but was called down. It was full on Parra. He struck out. And now a check swing didn't go, and it's a one-out walk to Victor Robles. And Matt Adams will pinch hit. 1 on, 1 out. booth, Joe Buck with the Hall of Famer John Smoltz, and better tonight for the Astros with runners in scoring position. That's why they're in this spot up by 3. Absolutely. Of course, they were favored coming in.
Okay. So now I'm back on the the better microphone, so my voice should sound a little clearer. I'm done with my chores or whatever, so I can just sit down and watch the game.
By Greinke making some pitches when the Nationals had a bunch of opportunities to either tie the game or break it open. Again, you talked about it earlier with regard to where we sit. Urquidy and Corbin, the likely starters tomorrow. The Astros are thinking just let's get Garrett Cole back out there and try and reset.
Yeah, I might have to change my predictions for the series if the Astros can take 2 games out in DC and make it 2-2. Especially depending on how they win those games.
Success down 3-1 in winning a series than teams that are down 3-0. That tells you all you need to know about the importance of this game. Only the Boston Red Sox were able to pull off that incredible feat. Not many teams in any sports have had much luck trying to get that done. Robles takes off, swing and a miss.
And he's got the steal.
Stolen base for Victor Robles.
Okay. You know, Nationals are going to have to make something go on. I mean, might as well. You take the risk. You take the risk, you're down. You're down. You're already getting deep into the second half of the game. You have to take some chances in order to jumpstart this offense. Put the guy in scoring position.
And a wink for Carlos Correa.
If they were down by 1 run, they probably don't do that. Maybe even by 2 runs, they don't do that. But 3 or more, yeah, go for it.
0-2 pitches inside. Robles has been all over the place. Made that catch, leaping in center in the first inning to avoid a run scoring on a ball hit by Altuve. He has an RBI triple. And now a walk and a steal. Here's the 1-2 to Matt Adams. Bounces in and
Ooh. Ah, gosh. That was close. Good on the catcher. Sheesh.
really trying to make this change up.
That ball gets past him. He's on third.
Spikes it. Turns it over, and then Chirinos does a good job. Adams fouls it back. 1 for 3 this postseason is Matt. 20 home runs during the regular season, drove home 56. And that's a bad number down at the bottom for Washington 0 for 8. Runners in scoring position. Astros better tonight than they've been in the first 2 rounds. Adams struggles with slower breaking balls. 2-2. 94 fouled off the hands. Reminder for tomorrow, game 4 on the air, 7:30 Eastern, Urquidy and Corbin. A tougher pitch for Peacock is to get that fastball in the inner part of the plate because he's got to start it at Adams to tie him up. A lot of swings and misses on the inside part of the plate against Adams on fastballs. Robles takes his lead. Adams trying to chase him home.
Come on. Ooh.
Ball 3. That is 3 full counts on all 3 hitters here in the 6th.
Oh boy.
Here it is. And ball 4.
Uh-oh.
And with Will
Yeah.
Harris getting ready,
Yep. Get him out of there.
A.J. Hinch
Get him out of there.
is going to go to him.
You cannot keep this guy in the game. Sorry. World Series, man. You know how it is.
Got back-to-back walks.
That's what you say to him.
Action here in the 6th inning for Washington.
Can't take a chance. Nope. One big swing. Because he would have had to been forced to throw strikes. And not very confidently as well. So most likely he would have thrown like a fastball somewhere down the middle, and boom, he would have been rocked. That is for shizzle. I don't know if anybody's seen this, but Fox also has a separate like watch stream. So you actually have your choice. You can watch it with us, the Sports Goofs, or you can watch it on the Fox stream, which has Dontrell Willis and Johnny Gomes. It's a very tough choice. I have not won the World Series, and neither has Charles nor Andrew, but those two guys have. So, yeah, you could watch those guys, but they don't have a simulated baseball game on the screen, so that's something. Alrighty. Anyways. So I don't know if Andrew is still on, but did you ever get a chance to see the banner and the rings for the Toronto Raptors? Me and Charles looked at them during the last show. If you're still on, dude. Ugh. Oh boy, the Twins have something going on here in the 9th inning. Andy Pettit is still pitching this game. Ooh, and he's facing Joe Mauer with 1 out. Look at Luis Castillo there. I like that.
Presented by YouTube TV on Fox. Budweiser game summary. The 6th inning, because of the circumstances, being treated like the 8th by the Astros. See what the top of the order is done in this 4-1 game. Robles is standing at second at the moment, and the difference in the game is what they've done with.
Ooh, wow.
To this point.
Okay.
A chance here for Trey Turner.
Justin Morneau. Look at that's another name right there, Justin Morneau. Whatever happened to him? Not sure. I don't know if he's like a player we can remember to forget, because I remember him, but I did kind of forget about him for a bit. Might be a good player to it's not necessarily the worst of players and the most forgettable of players, but sometimes we can look back at guys that we vaguely remember, or we do remember. We're just like, wow, I haven't thought about him forever. Thought he died or moved to Winnipeg.
Nationals are in the ball game. Trey Turner is in the hole, 1-2. See, Harris can exploit the outside part of the plate because he throws that cutter, that hard cutter, and that's the area where Turner kind of has a little bit of a weak spot, is away on the zone, and then he throws that big curveball off of it. Here's a 1-2 pitch. maybe even Osuna, the closer, included. I think A.J. Hinch trusts Will Harris above all those arms down there. Yeah, I mean, this is the sixth, like you said, but it's the heart of the order and where the damage can be done for the Nationals. So you got to stop it right here. 2 walks in the inning, a stolen base mixed in, and A.J. Hinch had Harris ready to go. Here's his 2-2 pitch. Turner just got
Oh.
and then that ball got a piece of him. Not a good spot.
No, it is not. Yikes. Ouchies. Ouchies.
So they'll check on him.
Want more postseason stats? Hey Siri, who's leading baseball in home runs in the postseason?
Hey Siri, who's leading home runs in baseball in the postseason? I said that completely wrong.
Jose Altuve of the Astros leads the MLB with 5 home runs this postseason.
Hold on. Let me repeat that. Hey Siri, who leads baseball in home runs during the postseason?
Count 2 and 2.
Jose Altuve of the Astros leads the MLB with 5 home runs this postseason.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Look at that. Jose Altuve has 5 home runs. DJ LeMahieu has 3. Max Muncy with 3. Of course, those guys are not going to get any more home runs. George Springer has 3. He could get more. Gleyber Torres will not get any more, and he has 3. Juan Soto can get more. He's got 3. Ryan Zimmerman could get more, and he's got 2. Justin Turner's got 2. He's not going to get more. Tommy Pham, not going to get more. He's got 2 of them. And I have his bobblehead. And, gosh darn it, it went away. Well, and I have a Tommy Pham bobblehead next to me right here that I got at Tropicana Field. So I did get some swag on my last baseball trip. Yeah, the Braves don't have refillable cups. Like, you could buy a souvenir cup, but they're not refillable. Like, what the fudge is that about, you know? Seriously. Like, you know, Braves have a nice ballpark and stuff, but man, there's always something. The Braves, whenever they have something good, they always find a way to screw it up. They always find a way to screw it up, all right? So yeah, my criticisms of the Braves are, it's not unwarranted. It is not. It is not an irrational hatred for them because they've been in our division for so long and they've had so many division-winning teams. And yet, less world championships than the Marlins. All right. In Atlanta, we're fine. If you want to add the franchises, they have more because they won 1 in Boston, won 1 in Milwaukee. But I don't think anybody in Atlanta actually counts those. I only saw 1 World Series trophy displayed at SunTrust Park. So, that's it. I mean, the Nationals won, or forget the Senators won a World Series. I don't know. I didn't even get. I would assume the Twins have it somewhere in a broom closet. I don't think it was the World Series trophy or whatever it used to look like. That's an interesting thing. I wonder what it used to look like. That's an interesting question of what the World Series trophy used to look like. I'd have to find out. That's a good question. That is a good question. Gosh darn it. Gosh frickin' darn it.
Usually provides him good pitches to hit. He's jammed here. That's a foul ball. Strike 2. Main setup man for the Astros has to come in here in the 6th because of back-to-back walks by Peacock. Trying to a bunch inning.
This game has truly has taken a while to get through. Ooh.
And the Astros dugout
Ha 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 ha. He didn't swing? Oh, I hear terrible there. There could have been worse words there, but I just heard terrible. Terrible, as Charles Barkley would say.
appealed to third base umpire Sam Holbrook. He said no swing. And you see why the Astros reacted the way they did.
Ooh, gosh.
It's called ball one instead of strike three, and now a 1-2 pitch from Harris. Foul back. Here's a 4D replay sponsored by T-Mobile. That'll make the Astros and their fans even more upset they didn't get that call. 1-2 the count, 2 on, 2 out. And a ground ball to first. Gurriel to the bag, and a great piece of work by Will Harris in the 6th inning. Long way to go in game 3. Astros up 3 back after this from your local Fox station.
Okay. Joe Nathan, another name. Oh, well, while we wait here for things to return, I'm looking at my Panthers hat collection right now, and it is extensive. Very extensive right now. Right now I see 7 hats there. I know there's an 8th one somewhere out here. 9th. There's 9. There's 9. I think I have 9. Oh, no, 10. 10 now. And I'm thinking about it. I might have 10 Florida Panthers hats. 10. I don't think there's anything more. Probably not. So I'm saying there's 10 Florida Panthers hats. I have, as far as Miami Heat, I actually have to switch out one of them there. I think I have only 4 Miami Heat hats. That's actually pretty strange that I don't have much more than that. Yeah, I have a regular black and red Miami Heat hat with their regular logo, a Miami Floridians hat, and a white Miami Vice hat, and a green Miami Heat hat. And the only reason I bought that was because I don't have a hat in the color green. And I always like to have a hat of different colors. So I have a yellow hat, I have a green one, I have red, I have blue, I have white, I have black, grays, navy. So I always try and find a balance to the colors. I don't have anything like in a royal blue. I have teal. I have aqua for the Dolphins. I have garnet for the Seminoles. But I don't have much more than that. So I don't have like a deep blue, like a royal blue type of hat. I don't. Closest I get would be that Marlins teal hat. So, well, actually, I do have a blue, the Miami Marlins minor league cap. So that's blue. That's blue. All right. Yeah. I think I have pretty much almost every spectrum. I don't have anything in purple. It's probably one of the colors that's missing. Nor pink. I don't have pink. You know, those transition colors. Orange. I don't have an orange cap. So, if I were to get orange, I'd probably get Miami Heat or Miami Dolphins cap. That would be probably the team that would have it. Man, Brad Lidge does not look good in this game. You can kind of make him out as Brad Lidge, but he looks awful. Honestly, I think these graphics look worse than MLB 2K1 for some reason. Not sure why. Just something about the way it's animated and stuff. This looks awful. This looks awful. Well, 2K doesn't make MLB games anymore. They don't make NHL games. They can't make NFL games, and all they focus on is NBA. EA doesn't make MLB games anymore. All they focus on is FIFA, Madden, and really that's it. That's it. NHL, yeah, NHL. They're the ones that make NHL games now. And then the rest, I mean, really the only others, I don't know who makes RBI Baseball. I don't know which company makes RBI Baseball. That seems to be the only other baseball game outside of MLB The Show, which is the premier baseball game, and that's PlayStation exclusive because Sony makes that themselves. And there's no other baseball games outside of that. There's no other NHL games. And I think Pro Evolution Soccer is the only other soccer game out there. So you have those. And of course there's no NCAA video games of any sort because of the NCAA's stupid policies, you know. And everybody could be making money, dude. They're only losing out on money by not having video games of it. So, yeah, whatever. It's the NCAA. They're they're a corrupt organization. You just know it.
More than 600,000 fans across the country predicted how October would unfold in the MLB postseason bracket. Presented by MGM Resorts with $250,000 on the line, less than 2,000 brackets remain perfect. And with two out, here's Reddick. Reddick takes a strike. Part of the order will bat for the Nationals in the bottom of this seventh inning, and it looks like Harris will go back out there and work to Rendon, Soto, and Cabrera. Well, Reddick got the Astros going. He didn't exactly square it up, but he was able to dunk it in, and a good read by Correa got the Astros off to a 1-0 lead, and they have led the entire game. Ross, who started the season in the bullpen, then went into the rotation, had good numbers as a starter. Now everything has been reshuffled here for the postseason, and he gets a chance to come out of the pen. And here's his 2-1 pitch. 2. Ross added for this World Series and getting a chance here in Game 3 with Chirinos, who homered his last time up, waiting on deck. Just got a piece. Ross can spin it. We talked about that short arm fastball with some movement, but his slider is pretty good as well. Talked with David Martinez and just asked, who would be the guy in case there was a shorter outing by Sanchez. He said, I trust Ross. So Ross is in the game to get some outs. Keep it. It's where the offense can kind of rally back. Another 2-2 pitch. Reddick fouls it away. Josh tonight an RBI single. He's popped up, lined out. He got the start in the outfield tonight instead of Jordan Alvarez, the usual DH. They don't have his bat in their lineup yet. Available off the bench. They wanted Reddick's defense. Low, full count. More than likely they'll have his bat in the lineup if this goes 5 games. But for A.J. Hinch and contact-oriented lineup against the contact pitcher in Zach Greinke, he needed the defense to be a priority. And Reddick drove home the first run of the night for Houston.
wonder if Charles is watching SmackDown today. Of course, it's not on Fox. It's got to be like on something else. That's pretty funny. I gotta post this to our Sports Goofs page. And I gotta retweet that for our Sports Goofs page. There's a funny tweet about SmackDown. Well, not about SmackDown, about WWE 2K20. And it's basically, I don't know which wrestler this is, but he's got a long, giant piece of paper. Looks like he's reading a long list. And somebody tweeted out saying, sorry, I'm not close to the mic, so I sound like I'm far away, but now I'm close to it. Someone's saying that everyone reading all the glitches we found in WWE 2K20 so far. Gosh. Man, Fox is really pushing hard this WWE stuff, as they have a segment here with Josh Reddick talking about his favorite WWE superstar of all time. So they really are pushing hard all this WWE stuff, and as they should. I mean, they now have it, so it's very much how it goes for any sports license that you have. That's why, yeah, you know, when the NHL TV giant national TV contract is up, there is some hope that, and maybe it could spread out and not just be exclusively to NBC. So we'll see. Oh. Wow. Even on the Masked Singer, look at that. I mean it's there, and they're really gonna push it hard. They're really gonna try and make it mainstream, really mainstream. And we'll see what happens with AEW. It'll be interesting how they, and you know, they have a uphill battle trying to gain some popularity. But now that we have this watch stream, maybe we can actually have a watch stream of that, of just me, Andrew, and especially Charles, and we sit down and we watch AEW, and he could actually talk to us about what the heck is going on and explain to us what the storyline is for that night. So that actually has me pretty excited for a segment. This commercial break is taking a while. It's funny how when you don't have the commercials, it seems like, you know, the silence is kind of welcome. Some streams, I remember sometimes you would get the feed of just the ballpark, and they just show the crowd and stuff. I kind of wish they just do that. You just see the ballpark as if you're sitting there. So hold on, let me see.
A strike hits the inside corner to Rendon. Rendon the last two times came up with runners on, and the very first pitch flew out to center and then flew out to left. Uncharacteristically showed some anger on a couple of those. Didn't like the first call. The 0-1. Out. One ball, one strike. There's Smith. 1-1 pitch. Grounded foul, strike two. Well, it's not too often you see a team as good as the Houston Astros or any team that gets to the World Series and doesn't have a left-hander in their bullpen. But A.J. Hinch says he's got the right-handers. He likes to face the left-handers if need be. I think you got to go all the way back to the early 1900s. That's right.
The early 1900s.
Without a left-handed pitcher. That's upstairs. Yeah, pitcher on the roster, active roster, a left-hander. Last time that's happened in a World Series was 1903.
1903. That was the first World Series. Ah, I said it before Joe Buck did.
And here we are, 2019, and there's a foul tip to keep Rendon at the plate, 2-2. There has been nothing easy tonight.
Yeah, this game has been going on forever.
For the Astros pitching. Nationals have made them work. Washington stranded 10.
Oh, sheesh, it's 11:30.
Left 9, and that's been the theme. Get the two strikes, get the two strikes, get the two strikes, but then somehow the Nationals get the count back. Neutral to 3-2. That's the count now. 3-2 pitch. Foul back here. Talking about the layoff in that 6-day break the Nationals had coming into this World Series. Manager Davey Martinez saying Rendon finally got his legs back under him. In a long year. 3-2 pitch.
Oh, that's not enough.
About a step in front of the track, hauls it in. Rendon's 1 for 4. Talked about it earlier, John. That's the area in this ballpark where the ball will carry. In the hot summer months, this ballpark can play small. But with the temperature where it is now, and obviously below, it was 62 at the start of the night. This is a fair ballpark, but that's the area where the ball will jump. Yes. Facing some pretty good pitching as the postseason numbers of home run rate. The likes go down this time of year. Soto, big swing and miss. But again, most people didn't realize. Everyone knows about the Houston Astros, their offense, their record, their ability to pitch. But the Nats were just as stingy when it came to striking out. 4th hardest team to strike out. 3rd best with 2 strikes on them. 2 quick strikes on Soto. The 2nd best team with on-base percentage. And of course, first place goes to the Astros in a lot of those categories I mentioned. How about bat at bat? And that work by Will Harris just went right through Soto, who's 0 for 3 with a walk on his birthday and 2 out here in the 7th. That's the first pitcher who's been able to beat him up and in. Great combination of pitches. There's that cutting fastball. You can see the ball kind of coming in towards the left-hander. Kid who doesn't expand the zone too many times up out of the zone was unable to stop his bat. Now as Drupal Cabrera, 2 more hits for the second baseman. His double in the 5th inning chased the starter Greinke. Had runners at second and third, and then Josh James got a big out as he came in and struck out Zimmerman. Nothing in 2, the count. Tom Verducci, A.J. Hinch had Will Harris ready last inning.
Yeah, you got to give the manager credit for the foresight. Even before those 2 walks, he had Harris getting ready for the top of the lineup. Peacock against the top of the lineup is a matchup he wanted to stay away from. As you mentioned, his most reliable reliever, use him in that spot, and here he is getting 5 outs.
He has done that. Astros win 1-2-3 in the top half. Nationals go 1-2-3 in the bottom half. 8th inning, game 3. Houston up 4-1.
Man, I wish I could unlock these like classic teams, but oh well. Well, let's recreate some World Series, right? Let's recreate last year's World Series, just for fun. So that would be Boston and Los Angeles. Put from Fenway. Okay. Oh gosh, man, this game is going on forever between these guys. Not as much excitement for a while. It's just been a grind, really. And we're just getting into the 8th inning. I think we might head into midnight for this, because it's already 11:37. So we might head into midnight for this game. I don't know, majorly. I mean, I'm sure. I think the game started at 8. So 3-hour game. Well, it's gonna be a 4-hour game, really. Ugh. Gosh. I think the last game lasted about 3 hours and 37 minutes. So this game's just going to take up now that a lot of the East Coast games are over with. Let's see, on the West Coast, gosh, the Canucks are destroying the Capitals tonight, 5-1. Avs handily taking down the Golden Knights. So the West Coast games are kind of getting situated there. In the NBA, let's see, we already talked about these East Coast games that have already finished. Just want to look at the West Coast stuff and see how they're doing right now. And then we can look up at NFL. Last night was Thursday Night Football. As expected, the Vikings defeated the Washington Redskins 19-9. No surprise there as to that result. So, okay, so Phoenix and Denver is heading into overtime, 95-95. Wow, good on the Suns. Bunch of young guys on that team taking it to the Nuggets. And a good game right now between the Blazers and the Kings. 74-79 right now out in Sacramento. Blazers are up. And then the Lakers are getting a bit of a lead now over the Jazz. 3:02 left in the second quarter. All right. So NFL, let's see. Bengals and Rams. The Rams should probably win that game. So the Bengals tank is going on pretty strong. Worries me as a Dolphins fan. The Falcons and the Seahawks. Falcons have been playing awful, and their tank is doing pretty well as well. So Seahawks probably likely to win that game. Buffalo and Philly. That might be a close game. Chargers and Bears. That would also be, two teams that aren't really that great facing off against each other. Chargers also having a bit of a tank there with 2 victories. That's only 2 games ahead of, or behind, if you want to say, of the Dolphins. And the Jets and the Jaguars, Jags probably going to win that game, and the Jets tank is also a threat to the Miami Dolphins as far as I can see on the screen there. I'm just showing what's ever on the screen. SMU continuing on with their revival, really, with a 34-31 win over Houston. Then you got number 5 Oklahoma versus Kansas State. Number 20 Iowa facing off against Northwestern. They should win that game. Wisconsin versus Ohio State. Wisconsin lost. Ohio State is number 3 in the country. Out in the gosh. Let's see, on Ohio Stadium. Let's see. Then you got Appalachian State. I forgot who they're facing off against. Auburn, LSU. That'll be very, very interesting. We'll see how that game turns out. Let's see. ISU versus OK State. That's as much as I can see on the screen here. Sure, Andrew could chime in if he's still here. I'm not even sure anymore. To talk about some of the college football. Hey Siri, when is the Florida State Seminoles football game?
Florida State faces Syracuse tomorrow at 3:30 p.m.
Both teams are 3-4, and given the Seminoles' lack of being good, they probably may even lose that game. So, yeah. I think they're playing this one out at Doak in Tallahassee.
At times, it probably could look like I was a fish out of water, flopping around on the ground, maybe. For attention. Not wrong. See if Springer wants to run. That's another one right back for the out. Ross is just shaking his head like, wow, what'd I do? Altuve grounds out, bottom of the 8th inning rolls in. DC Astros up by 3.
Okay, same score. Heading into the bottom of the 8th. All right, Capitals have scored a second goal. It's now 2-5 as the second period is about to end out in Vancouver. Only game that's left on the NHL calendar. And we still have a couple of those West Coast games. We have that overtime game between the Suns and the Nuggets right now starting up. No score change as of yet. You have another game out in Sacramento, and it looks like the Nuggets have scored. It's now 96-95. And you have the game out in Los Angeles. So there's only 3 NBA games left to go. 1 NHL game. And, of course, this World Series game. And I guess there was some college football, as Andrew had mentioned earlier today. Yeah, guys, I've been up all day. And I'm starting to tire myself out now. It's a big week coming up for me as I end my tenure at my job. It's going to be pretty interesting. And, of course, we'll see what happens. And Andrew actually offered me some help with the case. Don't think he'll be able to help me tomorrow. So, we'll see. Hey, Yasmin Cortez. How you doing, man? How's it going? Ooh. I got 50 coins here on Nemo. First time we're actually looking at our comment section on Nemo. It doesn't show up, unfortunately, on our Sports Goofs little chat there. The Sports Goofs chat polls from Twitch, sometimes from Periscope. I don't know, it depends. Periscope is kind of funny. Sometimes it posts, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Discord, and where else? Where else does it post from? Mixer. Mixer is also another one. So all the big streaming platforms will usually get you can get the comment on there. So thanks, Yasmin, for following us, for becoming a fan. That's our 8th follower on Nemo, new platform that we're working on now. We have some followers on VK and some followers on OK.ru, a Russian site. We got Facebook. Of course, you can look at all that on the bottom right. D Live is also been pretty good for us as far as an audience is concerned. So thank you to everybody that we're pulling from. It's been a labor of love, this channel, this Sports Goofs channel, and we try with as much time that we can dedicate to this channel. We try as hard as we can to bring some sort of entertainment, some sort of insight, just hanging out with some buddies. I mean, that's how we want to look at it, just hang out with some buddies, talking about sports, watching sports, playing video games, sports video games, and even things outside of sports. We talk about movies, we talk about food, we talk about video games, we talk about life. It's it's interesting. So we'll see how it goes. I mean,
Kendrick being announced as the pinch hitter here in the 8th inning. Good work by Ross. We'll check in with Ken Rosenthal.
Joe, great work tonight by the Astros bullpen thus far, but one reliever conspicuous in his absence, Ryan Pressman. He, of course, had that rough inning in Game 2 and has clearly moved down in the pecking order.
So if anybody has any thoughts about the Astros and Nationals game, it's on right now. And when I shut up, you can actually listen to the comments of Joe Buck and those guys. So we have a small group of people joining us, and thank you for joining us here in the Goofs Nest, as I call it. If you want, you can follow our page on Facebook, Sports Goofs. We're on there. Facebook.com/Sports Goofs. There's our Discord. You can just type in that link right there that you see right there, and you can join us on our Discord page. You can comment on there as well, and it'll show up on the screen. So, once again, you can donate to us on Patreon. Patreon.com/Sports Goofs. We're on there. You can watch us on YouTube. Just search Sports Goofs and you'll find us on YouTube. But yes, we do have a Patreon. We do have one patron that was generous enough to donate to us. So thank you for that. You can follow us on actually I have to change that. It's at @sports_goofs. Sports Goofs is already taken. It's not us. So please do not follow that one. You can listen to our last show on Apple Podcasts. If you have an iPhone, we are on Apple Podcasts. Just search Sports Goofs and we are on there. Once again, like I said, we are everywhere. We are everywhere. Periscope.tv/Sports Goofs, or watch our Sports Goofs. Once again, Sports_Goofs on Twitter. You'll see us there. YouNow. We have a YouNow account, but it doesn't directly stream. When we stream, like, it's there, but we don't even use it. AfricaTV.com. If you're in Korea, South Korea, /Sports Goofs, we are there. We are there. We are everywhere. Facebook.com/Sports Goofs. That's our Facebook page. That's where you can see us. see what we post from our Instagram page as well. That's connected directly to our Instagram page. Sometimes we tweet or we Instagram about our, we post photos from ballparks and sporting events that we go to. So that's at Sports Goofs on Instagram, as you can see there on the bottom right of the screen. So just a number of different streaming platforms. There's some new ones that we have not added yet. Nemo's one of the newest ones, and I'm glad that we already have a good following already, just building upon that with this. So yeah, thanks for seeing us on Twitch there. So yeah, if you ever watch us, I mean, I'm into hockey since I used to be a hockey writer. I used to be an NHL media member. Andrew is a current college football media member, so it's really nice that he finally got that position. And Charles is our wrestling guru. He is our wrestling fanatic. He knows everything that you could about wrestling. So yeah, we and yeah, I mean, I'm a graphic designer myself. When I'm not doing my day job as a lawyer, I do this. So we what was it? I designed our look. I designed our color scheme. Well, our color scheme is basically based on the Marlins color scheme. Currently, I designed our overlays. I've designed all of this, really. It's been a labor of love, really. We don't get anything out of it. I wonder.
They come over the top and they're using those seams, and it has that jump. That's like a four-seam pitch where the seams are going sideways.
So, yeah, it's probably a bot now that I see about it. Whatever. Whatever, it's on Twitch. There's some new platforms that Restream has added. So I want to add those as well to pull in from our audience. But our Nemo audience it's a brand new channel, so already 8 followers. That's pretty good, and a guy watching us already. Oh gosh. I wonder how these games are really boring here on MLB 2K6. You got almost all of them are like nothing scores heading into like the 22th inning. Oh gosh. I'm trying to make it to the end of this baseball game, and then we can end this. I'm trying to make it. I'm pretty darn sure the NBA games will finish off. You still got 1:05 left. Wow, that Suns Nuggets game is pretty damn good. Wow. And the Suns are having some troubles with their number 1 pick from last year, DeAndre Ayton. We'll see what happens there. With regards to him being found with a diuretic. And a diuretic is often used to mask performance-enhancing drugs. It makes you urinate so you can get urinate and get whatever's inside of you out of your system pretty quickly for testing purposes. So we'll see what comes about of that. I forgot what the suspension amount was that the NBA was saying was planning on doing. Okay. We're heading into the 9th inning. Looks like we will be going into midnight with this game still going on. So, the Dodgers actually scored a run. It's 1-0 here on the simulated 2018 World Series game that I'm doing right now. So, Chris Creamer of sportslogos.net has posted the 2019-2020 NBA Twitter hashtag. So anybody who's on Twitter knows, you had hashtags and stuff in order for people to find certain posts. So the hashtags for the NBA are as follows. True to Atlanta is for the Atlanta not the Falcons, the Hawks. Wrong bird. Celtics for the Boston Celtics. It's nice, simple, to the point. I actually like that. Just put in the team's name and boom. None of this other stuff. We go hard. That's for the Brooklyn Nets. Sure. All fly for the Charlotte Hornets. I guess. Bulls Nation for the Chicago Bulls. Be the Fight for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, the Mavericks have MFFL, which I'm going to assume means Mavericks fan for life, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that's what it is. And of course, they have their Mavericks horsehead logo there. The Brooklyn Nets just have a B with a white basketball in the background. So that's their alternate logo. The Hornets have their alternate logo of the Hornet, but facing towards the side in a profile manner. Cavaliers have their C logo with nothing else. The Denver Nuggets have Mile High Basketball, and they have their alternate pickaxe logo. With the basketball with the two pickaxes. The Pistons have Detroit Basketball. Simple, to the point, with their full Detroit Pistons logo. The Golden State Warriors have Dub Nation. That's what theirs looks like, and it's a flag with the Oakland Alameda Bridge logo. The Bay Bridge logo. The Houston Rockets have One Mission, which I like. Actually, it makes sense for Houston. It makes Houston command center for NASA. One Mission. So, that's actually really appropriate. I like that one. So far, that's one of the non-simple ones that I like so far. The Pacers have Indiana Style, which I hope is not a position that you would use in intercourse. The Los Angeles Clippers have Clipper Nation. Once again, just adding nation to the end of your team name, which is, it's kind of tacky at this point. The Heat used to have Heat Nation. I always thought that was kind of, It's MLB 2K6. So this is back in the day when 2K used to make baseball games. Okay, so the Los Angeles Lakers have the Lake Show, which is a historical thing that they have, so that makes sense for them. That's not a bad one. I like it's a callback. The Memphis Grizzlies have Grind City, which has been their moniker for quite a while. Their motto, so it makes sense for them. I like it. The Heat have it nice and simple. Heat Twitter. Nothing Nothing more, nothing less. Hate Twitter. The Bucks, Milwaukee Bucks, have Fear the Deer. I like it. It rhymes. They've been using this moniker for years, so we're gonna go with that. I like it. The Minnesota Timberwolves, just straight up Timberwolves. That's it. Nice, simple, to the point. I like that. Let me set up the next simulation game. So we're going to go to another World Series here, and we're going to do the Los Angeles Dodgers versus the Houston Astros. So we'll, let's see. Crap. We'll set up. I wonder if I could set up as rainy in a retractable roof ballpark, see if it matters. Let me see if it's raining instead of a retractable roof ballpark. Let's see if this game is so unadvanced that they're not going to do that. And sorry, dude, I don't know nothing about boxing. I don't know nothing about boxing except that I watch Mike Tyson Mysteries on Adult Swim. And I saw that video of Mike Tyson teaching some young bucks some boxing skills, and that man still looks very quick and could probably beat the crap out of a ton of people, even at this age. I think he's in his 50s now. All right, so heading back to the Twitter hashtags, and looks like the Nationals have gotten out of the inning, or the bottom half of the inning, and their last chance. Their last chance to see if they can do something else in this game. But thanks for following us. Do you like wrestling? 'Cause we can talk. We got wrestling guru and Charles, and if you ever watch us, that man loves wrestling. That's for shizzle. And that sounded really dumb that I said that now, but it's late and I'm tired. And I just want this game to be over now. Because it stopped having a ton of action a long time ago. The Astros have pretty much done what I thought they would do today and get their win and their victory tonight. We'll see what happens if the Nationals can bounce back tomorrow night. Or not really tomorrow night, tonight, because it's already the next day. It is today. So Game 4 will happen later on today. All right, so the New Orleans Pelicans have won't bow down. And of course, they can't put the apostrophe in the hashtag, so it looks like want bow down, which doesn't make sense. They've had an entire summer to think about this. And it looks weird. Want, bow down, without the apostrophe. It just doesn't make sense. All right? Zion goes down, you guys completely mess everything up. And they've already got 2 losses, but 2 very close losses. So you would hope that once Zion comes back in the next 2 months, they'll have something going there. But it's developmental season as they get all those Lakers cast-offs to congeal together and have a okay, baseball. All right, we're baseball fans here. I'm a Marlins fan, unfortunately. Andrew's a Tampa Bay Rays fan, and Charles is a New York Yankees fan. So he's rooting hard for the Washington Nationals to beat the Astros, because he is very, very petty and very bitter that the Astros took care of his Yankees. And I'm surprised. I don't know if Andrew's also, because the Rays took the Astros to 5 games, and okay, Dodgers. Okay, oh, you must be really disappointed after this postseason. Gosh. Yeah, the Dodgers. I wonder how Dodgers fans feel. Yep. I wonder how Dodgers fans feel about, like, are they bitter against the Nationals? Because I would think they wouldn't be. I would think they'd be more, I would think Dodgers fans would be more angry at their own team than they are at the Nationals. Like, you know, it's more their team's fault that they couldn't beat the Nationals, you know, when they were expected to head back to the World Series and win it. You know, they've been building on this for what? The last 5-6 years, and they still can't win the darn thing. I'm so surprised that Dave Roberts is still the manager of that team. I think any other franchise would have fired him. Okay, I'm surprised that they didn't fire him, go after Joe Girardi or Joe Madden. They had two high-profile managers on the market, and now Joe Madden is in Anaheim and Joe Girardi is out in Philly. So, you know, we'll see. Because that Dodgers window is not going to be open for forever. At some point, they're going to have to win it all. It's not going to get any easier. The Braves are rising. Look at the Nationals right now. I don't think they're going to go away anytime soon. And the Phillies are looking to improve already with Joe Girardi just as the manager. Boom, that's already an improvement. And what was it? I mean, and then you have the NL Central there. I mean, the Chicago Cubs, I don't think are just going to fall completely apart. They're probably going to regroup and try and get back into this. St. Louis Cardinals are always there. They're always a competitive team. And I will see what happens with the Milwaukee Brewers if Christian Yelich comes back and they can keep this momentum going. But National League this season was very close with a lot of teams. So the Dodgers, it's only a matter of time, and they've been spending a ton of money. Of course, they make a ton of money anyways, but at some point, those owners just get cheap. They start getting cheap. Even the Yankees have pulled back on their spending sometimes, so they didn't even go out and get a high-end pitcher, which is something that Brian Cashman said that he had no regrets for not getting a high-end pitcher, and I don't think a lot of Yankees fans would like to hear that, especially because they've spent before for guys, and you know, CeCe's gone, so they're gonna have to get somebody. He's retired. All right, let me finish up these hashtags here. So the New York Knicks is New York forever. Sure, New York Knicks. Sure. I think that's more of a dig at the Brooklyn Nets than anything else. And that ball drops between all of those guys. So, there's a guy on first. All right, so the Oklahoma City Thunder is Thunder Up. It's kind of tacky. The Orlando Magic is Magic above all. That's interesting. Can't say if I like it or I don't like it. The 76ers have Phila Unite. So, gosh, I don't know. Phila. I mean, why did they just go with Philly? Philly Unite, you know? Okay. The Phoenix Suns have Rise PHX. So, Rise Phoenix, in a sense. I mean, sure. The Portland Trail Blazers are like theirs, Rip City. It's historical. It goes to their motto, Rip City, so I like that. The Sacramento Kings have a really long one, Sacramento Proud. That is a lot of characters. That's gonna take up a lot of tweets, character limits. So I think having something short and sweet helps your followers in being able to express a lot more stuff without having to put your long hashtag just to have your logo there. Just saying. I'm just saying. The San Antonio Spurs have Go Spurs Go. Kind of boring, but San Antonio Spurs are kind of like a boring organization. A good organization, but a boring one. So it kind of makes sense. The Toronto Raptors have We the North, and that's probably going to be their motto forever. At this point, now that they've won a championship, they're just going to keep We the North as their motto. The Utah Jazz, I like it. It's Take Note. Makes perfect sense for the team name. And the Washington Wizards have Rep the District, which is kind of clunky. So, I mean, I would have liked it if it was like Rep DC. It would have been nice and short. Once again, Rep the District. You got to elongate your stuff out. So, that could have been better. All right, so that's NBA Twitter hashtags that I've looked at so far. And I guess he's going to do the NHL next. So I'm assuming tomorrow he's going to have the NHL hashtags. So we can talk about that some other stream. As this baseball game is about to, well, it has wrapped up. The Houston Astros, I see there on the bottom left screen. They're ahead of my stream here that I'm watching. Yeah, and there it is. There's the final out. Houston Astros have won Game 3. 2-1 series lead for the Washington Nationals. We'll see you later. Tonight, next night, but today for Game 4. Wow. So that ends the Nationals winning streak. And yikes. Okay. We might have a series after all. We'll see what happens. And those people that are at the ballpark, they're going to get home real late. I'm sure a lot of them are going to get home like at 1 or 1:30 when they get home. But luckily it's Saturday, so we'll have college football on later today. I have to go to work too, so I probably should end this stream as I have to be at work at 9 in the morning. So thanks everybody for joining us. Thank you, Andrew, for joining me, even though you couldn't talk on the stream. You couldn't call in on the stream. And thanks to Double X Burn Down 123, Double X, for joining us. Thanks to some of our new he's a new follower. Thanks to Yasmin Cortez, who has also become a fan of us and is following us on Nemo TV. I guess look out for our next show. We'll probably be posting it. We'll probably have our next show on Wednesday, and we might have another watch stream for Game 4. I haven't made a choice about that or decision. There's college football tomorrow. I'm sure Andrew is going to be paying attention more to that than anything else, so he might be busy. And that's it. So take care and good night. And Astros win. Ciao.
What did you see?
Well, I saw some good at-bats, and I certainly think that we had some opportunities. We continue to put ourselves in a position to break out and score some runs. I just like the competitiveness of our at-bats. We were kind of pretty focused on handing the baton to the next guy, which is really important. We're at our best when we do that. I know we have an explosive offense, but the quality at bat after bat is what we need.
Bullpen game tomorrow. I know this one just ended. How do you plan to attack it?
Well, we're going to go at it just like to try to win. I mean, obviously, we used a lot of resources tonight, but this is the World Series. We're going to keep going at it. Jose Urquidy's been really good for us. He's started a little bit. He's been in the pen. We're going to turn the ball over to him in the first inning, give him an opportunity to go as deep as he can and be as good as he can.
Guys had a lot of energy coming off the field.
Yeah.
How much do you think this win can just simply take the pressure off and allow you to go forward?
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, we had something happen in Houston that doesn't happen very often. The team came in and beat us back-to-back against two of our big boys. And so I think coming to a new venue, certainly an unbelievable environment today. I think getting back into the series, putting a little bit of momentum in our clubhouse and our dugout will go a long way.
AJ, thanks a lot.
Kenny.
Joe, back to you.